all my videos will be on YouTube. I'm going to go over the trio. So I'll go over Bitcoin, ETH, and shitcoin Sol, and then we will get into some recommendations from everyone else and take it from there. All right. So let's take a look at. Hold on. Let me close my trade out in profit. I don't want to be distracted. Let's take a look at, before we jump into here, let's take a look at USDT dominance. Okay. So a bullish USDT dominance, okay, is bad for crypto. A bearish one is good for crypto, okay? So what we are seeing here, and I can't do replay mode on this, I wish I could, but we had a support touch, okay? We were putting in a higher low, and we just put in another higher low, all right? This was basically a retest of this downtrend, and now we're breaking out again. As long as this remains bullish, expect downside on crypto assets, okay? So we flipped it to support here, continue to run higher, bounced from support briefly, then we deviated back below. This is a very important 4-hour close that we're going to be having. So if we are unable, or if we are able to reclaim this resistance and flip it to support, I assume we go higher. All right, now if we take a look at this on the daily, this still looks bullish as fuck. All right, breakout, we have a sideways inverse head and shoulders with a target, technical target, right, of about the next downtrend touch. Okay, if this continues to go there, I'm not saying it will, expect Bitcoin and everything else to drop by about another 15 to 20%. That's exaggerated. Bitcoin probably goes down to about 61K, and Sol goes to 0. All right. Now, we can also take a look at this and say, hey, this might be a bear flag. All right. This might be a bear flag, and we can go down to 2.56. That's the technical target of this bear flag. That's why I have it here, but also it is support. All right. Now, if that happens, everything goes, ballistic, and Sol will go to all-time highs. All right. I'm just picking on Sol, all right? So just chill. Now, that's what I expect to happen, but I will show you the Bitcoin chart and show you what I see on Bitcoin, but right now we're in the choppy range, okay? I gave you guys this cheat sheet. If you just type in cheat sheet on my channel, you'll see it, okay? Now we're again hovering on the support. The support was previous range high, right? It was previous range high. We flipped it to support, continued to run, came back down, turned into resistance, and then dumped, right? Flipped it, ran, resistance, boom, dumped. All right, now again, we're on support, and as long as we are above, well, right now we're below, but as long as we are above the 69K level, we should go higher. Okay, if we are below 69K down to 61K down this range low, expect choppiness. All right, this is where a lot of people will lose their money. All right, we can draw trend lines here all we want, and again, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 touches, and this is the 5th touch of this support line. Okay, if we do something like this and again reject, then I will be opening shorts. And by shorts, I'm not net short, I'm head short. I'm still very much long from down here, spot-wise, so I'm just protecting my spot assets by at least opening a head short. If it goes higher, great, right? I'm still losing 0 money. technically. But I would do a short of something like this. Okay, that's if we break down below and turn it to resistance, just like we did here. Break down below, turn to resistance, open up a head short, and go from there. Okay, now we do have a bullish order block here that did get briefly filled, but I do expect that area to get retested. So one sec, I will draw that on a different chart. I'm going to post this cheat sheet here in chats for you guys. This is one potential play if we do break down and turn into resistance. Okay, if I were to go to Bitcoin here, here is another potential play. Okay. Let me go to a little higher time frame. I don't like, let's do this. Okay, so nope, I like the 4-hour line better. I'll tell you why. Right, I have more confluence here than the one above. This was previously resistance, and it was, a battle between the bulls and the bears here, right? Again, lost it, went up, turned to support, so that's what I'm looking for there. So this would be a potential setup for a scalp play back to the highs, right? Here is okay, so order block, support already, and if I were to draw fibs, it perfectly aligns with the 786 fib. We could get a bounce here at this order block here, which is the golden pocket, but I'm not playing that one. I'm going to play this, which also aligns with the mid-range point, or roughly the mid-range point, right? So when you're in a range, it's very effective to play, okay? You long range lows until broken. You will be wrong eventually. You typically don't play, if we're just, suckling our thumbs in this area right here, you typically do not want to do anything, okay? You play the mid-range when we are at range lows or range highs. What do I mean by that? If we're at range highs, you're going to long mid-range. If we are at range lows, you're going to short mid-range. Never do anything in mid-range when we are there, all right? We are not there right now, so this is why I'm saying when we're here or here, you can take a scalp at mid-range. It's very, very easy in validation here. Stops below these wicks, right? And lose this, then yes, we're going to range lows, which is going to be a completely different play. Now, two plays here, all right? And this one is a little bit risky. And how I'm going to play it is this. I'm not setting bids down here, all right? I am going to wait until possibly this low is swept. What do I mean by that? Price action develops, right? Sol goes to 0, continues to go further down, and I'm hoping we have a capitulation wick, take out these lows, reclaim these highs, and then I will mark it long with my stop loss below that wick, right? Otherwise, if you set bids here, you could get a, stop. You could get stopped here, right? See how like all these people were trying to long support here. So what they were doing was they were going to like long support and their stop loss like somewhere below here, and they got fucked, right? Second time, it was a triple tap pattern. We didn't grab the liquidity. So if you're going to set bids here, which is viable as well, all right, you want to go very light at entry and have a soft stop loss. By soft stop loss, I mean it's going to be, if we close below this point and turn into resistance, then you're manually going to close out your position. Otherwise, you go in very light, your liquidation should be way, way, way out down here, and hopefully we don't have a wick into this demand zone here, but this is also another point that I've talked about in my channel, right, and in my videos. So this is what I'm waiting for. I'm not going to get into any market longs or limit longs here until this is swept, or until I see reaction where we just bounce from support, hold it, and then I will market long wherever that is with my stops below whatever wick is created at that point. All right. So that's what I'm looking for on Bitcoin. I will post this here as well. All right. Now let's take a look at ETH. So ETH yesterday, and here again, beautiful range. Whoa, beautiful range play again, right? You have your range and your lows, right? We had a breakout, and everyone and their mother, including myself, thought we were going to flip these highs. Now, ETH was much stronger than Bitcoin yesterday. Okay, so my trigger for this long was a flip of this, and I was looking for something like this back to the highs. Okay, very, very easy invalidation. Okay, we had the closure above, but I saw on the daily, right? On the daily, this was our third touch of resistance. Okay, and again, remember, a range play, you're going to play it as such, meaning you're going to short range highs, long range lows until broken. On the 4 hour, this was the 1, 2, 3, fourth touch. On the daily, it was the third touch. So although I wanted to flip long here, I was cautious. Also, when Bitcoin was going up, I think it was like at 70.8K, and it went to 71.6 or 71.7. ETH only moved like $10-15 at that point. It should have been much more. So then I saw the relative weakness there, and right, we deviated. So back under the range, and for those that know my trading style, demand zone, SR point of the downtrend, perfect bounce from there, and we got like a good $60 move at one point. We were at 510. Yeah, 35.20. So that is where I took a scalp long. Okay, now you might, and I was seeing this not only in Unity, but on Twitter and all the other servers that have a whole bunch of clowns trying to long and FOMO this. If you see this, okay, if you just see that you missed this, don't force yourself or don't get FOMO into getting into longs here. All right, if you miss any of this, you have to wait until price action develops. All right, you never want to jump into a green candle. All right, because if you longed over here, right, and you were hoping for this to continue higher, at max you got like a 2% move, right? And then you go ahead and go to sleep thinking you're safe, thinking oh hey, like this is going to continue to go higher. You go to sleep and then you wake up to price being down here, right? Never get FOMO when you see green candles. just chill and wait. Wait for confirmation. This, again, we were at range highs, at least in this range, and then we continue to go down. Right? Now, what if I were to tell you some negatives about this chart? What would you say if I tell you that what if this is a bear flag? Price comes down, here's the flag. What if I tell you that ETH can possibly go sub 3K? Right? We're at mid-range again. And mid-range, as I mentioned, when we're at range highs, is going to be a great place to scalp. Lose that, range lows. Okay? This could be a distribution pattern. This could be a bear flag sending it to this demand zone here. I can go on the 8-hour demand zone. It could even bounce over here. I could go on the daily demand zone. It could even bounce over here. Right? So I don't think it's impossible for us to have a move down to 58K, to 55K, or sub 3K on ETH. I personally think we will be able to buy Bitcoin under 60K. I think we can buy ETH under 3K, and I think we can get Sol under 0. Joke aside, I think we can get Sol under 150. All right. So it may not happen. Sure, I'm already in from higher. I will be adding to my bags, but this is what I'm looking for ETH. I am not looking too long until we get a tap of the range lows. So it'll be something like this, back to range highs. First TP would come at mid-range. Second TP would come at range highs. If we don't get the range lows, now this is going to be a scalp play. You should only go in with a small percentage of your portfolio. I was thinking like maybe a 1% scalp play, only because we've had like 3 touches down here and 4 touches up here. So eventually one side's going to give. I'm not looking to short here. I will flip long if this is flipped. Now stop loss is still, I need to wait until price action develops here before placing the stop. But once this is flipped, then I will long and we will go from there. But we have MSB a little bit, market structure break, right? So I'm looking for price action to develop a little bit more before taking a more dynamic long approach. Breakdown, reject, further down. We almost got to another bearish retest point, but this is what I'm looking for on ETH. So let me post this. And keep your eye out on the bear flag, because that's going to be your target. If we get, I will make this call on my channel. Whoops. But if we were to get this 28.50, I'm longing it with my stops under 28.90. Okay. Now let's take a look at this shitcoin. So I posted this on my Twitter, right? I mentioned that we were in a range play. And again, I mention this all the time. Okay, the range is the most effective play you could find in terms of risk to reward, but also in terms of easy invalidation. Okay, range highs, range lows. Now we've had multiple touches of range lows. Okay, 1, 2 on a lower time frame, right? Multiple touches. And again, we bounced from range lows. That was a point too long. Now, I wouldn't long anything here. We are still in a downtrend. Okay. Maybe you could consider this a little falling wedge. But again, nothing until this is flipped to support, and then you long with easy invalidation here, where if we get lower, then right there. This is your daily order block. So if we do get up here, I'm shorting this shit. Okay. Now, entering in this is not a long anymore. That was the long play. But entering in very, very light at 194.4-ish. Okay, I will DCA at range highs, and I will manually, like, this is going to be a manual stop loss play. A lot of you guys probably don't have the experience for this, so I'm telling you this, and you can go back and watch it. I'm going to have a manual stop loss, meaning if this range high is flipped to support, then I will look out to close this. At that point, my DCA should bring my average to around like 198. All right, but that's going to be my short play if we get to range highs. Now, we've touched range lows so many times that I don't expect this to hold. If it does hold, I'm looking for a deviation play, meaning I'm looking for a sweep of all this liquidity, reclaim range lows, then that's my trigger to long, and I will mark it long with my stops below the wick here. It hasn't happened yet, so I can't really give that setup, but that's going to be the trigger to long. Otherwise, if that is lost, you are looking at the gray boxes. So 150 down to 144. Second point comes around I would say 130, 6-ish down to 125. All right. So buy zones. And the long play is going to be a deviation. All right, I'm just going to type this. So something like right, something like that. If you're colorblind, I can't help you. So that's what I'm looking for Sol. I'm not looking to do anything while we are here. So I'm just waiting, being patient here. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention is on Bitcoin, when I had posted this in my channel and also on Twitter, but we had an ABC corrective wave. Okay, we were over here when I had mentioned it. Okay, now I was expecting us, and it's still very well possible, to continue to grind higher, take out these highs, and then go back down to range lows. Okay, now we kind of did, and then we rejected from this daily order block. Right? We actually did put in a swing failure pattern here. We took out the highs, closed below. We actually went to retest the swing high and then dumped. This was also a rejection into this daily order block. All right. Now, if we close this as such, we are below that previous range high level. Okay. And remember the short trigger I posted in the first image, putting a bearish engulfing candle here, right? And then turn this into resistance. We are looking for the next trend line touch. But again, this also looks like a bear flag target of this bear flag is going to be the range lows, right? So that's why I'm saying if we get to range lows, there's so much confluence with range lows right now that I think we can get this to be filled there. Yeah, mid-range ties with the long that I gave earlier, and then range lows. All right, so I'm going to post this as well. This is still not invalidated. If we can hold above here, yes, we can still go higher to take out these highs and then make our way down to range lows. I'm not looking to long until this previous highs is flipped to support. Then we go to that 78K level. All right, so I'm just going to post this. Okay. Let me take a look at DXY. Yeah, see ETH perfect touch of that demand zone, retest level, and got a nice reaction point. So DXY, I haven't read any of the chats yet. I'm just going through all the indices that I look at. So if you guys have any questions, I'll get there in a sec. Okay. So DXY still putting in higher highs. Sorry, higher lows, right? Or if you take this one, doesn't matter. Still making higher lows. We have a possible falling wedge as well. Okay, target of the falling wedge should send us back to these highs here. Okay, these are technical targets. So breakout, retest. Otherwise, we are getting to this order block. Okay, actually, it's a little bit lower. So if we can bounce from here, assuming that this isn't a double top, right? If we go to test the neckline again, meaning around 104.23, then yes, we have topped, confirming the double top from this pattern here, and then we go lower. But if we're able to hold this, especially with this candle printing, if we print green here, right, then yes, we're going higher. And if we go higher on the DXY, it's inversely correlated to crypto and the equity markets, and crypto goes down. But right now, we're rejecting again from this downtrend. So I'm looking for a bounce from this blue box. So I'm going to post both the 4-hour chart, again making higher highs and higher lows. Okay. Now this is a range. Okay. I want to show you guys a fucked up cup and handle pattern. It's a V shape, but look. It's not round. I like round cups. But if this neckline is flipped to support, that's what you get. Okay? So keep that in mind. Alright. Now let me answer some questions before we jump into some charts. I'm going to be charting up until it's 12:30 my time till around 1:15, so 45 minutes of charts. And And these are just recommendations from members. I'm not taking these plays. Okay, so don't be that one person that DMs me because I will put you on blast. One sec. Let me. Do you use fibs? Yeah, I use fibs. I only use the golden pocket and the 786 fib. Everything else is useless. Um, can you take a look at DX? Oh, sweet. How long have you been in the game? So I've been in crypto. Well, I've been introduced to crypto back in 2015, 2016. Um, Everything I've done is self-taught. I've been leverage trading since 2019, and just trading in general since 2018. I used to work for JP Morgan, so I was well in the investment side and stuff. Do we want to see highs or lows on the DXY? Well, we want to see lows. All right, I'll start with charts. TIA. Shitcoin TIA. Anything that requires you to stake for airdrops is a shitcoin in my eyes. Alright? This is the biggest shitcoin of them all. Fucking useless ass piece of shit. Alright, let's take a look. This looks like a tit. Okay. By the way, I think everything is a shitcoin. Don't marry your bags. Alright? Don't be that one person that also talks about their bags after they've divorced with them. No one likes that. Where is... Where's the fucking parallel channel? Okay. Okay. We're just in a channel right now. Um, I think these levels can be touched for TIA. Right? So these will be your buy levels if you like a coin that's named after your aunt. But okay, I don't see TIA being bullish until this level is reclaimed and we go higher. See how we had resistance here? We broke out, flipped it to support, um, and then came back, bounced from support again, and then we lost it, turned into resistance. So this level needs to be reclaimed to go higher. Otherwise, I see us going down to the support line that was previously resistance, turned into support there, and then bounce from this demand zone, grab some bids, and go higher. And if I were to draw fibs as well, we can draw it from shit. Yeah, I mean, like, fibs don't really work here, but I would short that shit. Um, Lower time frame. Yeah, this looks disgusting. Maybe it can go down. Like, we have a little bear flag here, but maybe we can go down, take these lows, put in a little double bottom pattern, and then continue to go higher. Most likely come back up here and reject from here. So this would be another touch of this downtrend. But again, we're printing lower highs and lower lows until that structure is broken. This is just in a downtrend. So a possible short can be taken here if we go up there for, another lower high and then back down to lows. Otherwise, come take these lows, put in a swing failure pattern, put in a double bottom, and you're waiting for confirmation. Do not blindly long here. Right, back up to these highs. So that's what I'm looking for TIA. By the way, guys, not all your coins are going to be charted. So I'm sorry. There's so many people in here, and I only have one of me. I'm not charting any Sol meme coins. Alright, that's TIA for you. Okay. Joe. Last time I charted this was October of last year. Okay. So this is an AVAX coin, right? Higher highs, higher lows. Okay, retest hasn't happened. I think a possible long can be taken at this order block. It's a very, very wide one. And I am a spot trader, so when I give these levels, that they're mostly spot, but if you take it leverage, you have to come up with your own risk management and how much you would lose if your stop losses were to get hit. I mean, this is easy invalidation. Now again, on a lower time frame, higher time frame, yes, you have higher highs and higher lows. You have an impulse in between, right, where you have the higher high, lower low, another lower high. It can come back down and bounce and make another lower low before going up. So if you're taking this trade, and especially with how this 4 hour is closing, see how we had a bearish engulfing daily, bearish engulfing daily candle here. If this closes bearish engulfing, expect this to go down. So although this here can possibly be taken for a scalp, the stronger bid, if we were to get it, would actually come down here. Right, and then top of the order block there, top of the order block there. You also have trendline confluence. So this would be my preferred play. This would be a scalp play. Expect, turbulence in this area. If you're scalping it, most likely go to a lower time frame. This chart looks disgusting. It needs to hold here. Right, but look at this. Multiple touches of the support line and then battle, and we've lost it. Honestly, although we have... Yeah, this looks disgusting. A possible short can be taken if we close below. Something like that. So I'll post these. Okay, Pyth. This chart looks like TIA before TIA was a shitcoin. Okay. Actually, it was right over here. This. Okay. Now, we are currently possibly losing trend. Now, we still have 4 hours into the day, but if we lose the trend here, you are looking for a retest. This will turn into a supply zone. We can go to a 4-hour chart to see more data. Okay, so come down. This turns into a supply zone, and you could possibly take a short something like this. Or block. Your first TP, second TP. But if you start shorting here or wherever this closes, if we continue to go higher and reclaim the trend line, meaning close above the trend line, don't wait for the stop loss to hit. You go in very light and then you close it out once the trend line has been reclaimed. See how we close below here and then we closed above. At that point, that's when you're going to close out this trade for a small loss, and then yeah, otherwise this needs to hold over here. Support, support, support. We close below. If we retest and reject, you might just want to start entering possibly a small short DCA if we get the bearish retest point. Your TP1 comes here, your TP2 comes here, but this looks bearish to me. Pyth. For the USD index, what does it mean if it goes up? So if the DXY goes up, it's bearish for crypto assets and for equity markets. My golden pocket levels are the 0.618 fib and the 0.66 fib. Everyone else is an idiot. I'm joking. How much percentage can we make monthly with spot? I mean, it's different for everyone. I started a spot challenge personally back in September of last year with $1,000, and I've taken it over to 6 figs. I did some risky trades. Like I went full port on a few, but it paid off. Like, yeah, Sol, I got in like half my port at $25, $26, and I took it full TP at 75. My other notable trades where I got into whiff at 22, full port, I took it out at 2x. Whiff. So my original play on dog with hat, okay, was the retest of the cup and handle, which was a downtrend play also. Now, I was thinking of playing the same exact setup. So entry around 3.41, DCA at the support line, final DCA down here, and see how it goes. And then I have a full last one here. Now, we put in a lower high here. This is starting to look a little bearish. I think meme coin mania is dying. So a potential secondary play for whiff could be Now again, on a higher time frame, this is still making higher highs and higher lows. All right, this is just an impulse down. It could continue to go higher from here and put in another higher high. Possible long attempt can be taken here. As this continues to take its time, right, stops below. Now, it could bounce here, and we could have a little bear flag pattern. A, B, B's not high enough. Yeah, C could come all the way down to here. Demand zone. And it still puts in a high from here, but we just lose this one, this market structure. So I think you could get, this would be a scalp play. You go in very, very light. Yeah, I do like that one. And then this would be your swing play. Here's with. Vanry. This is one of my biggest bags. I will continue to buy. This is an old chart. One sec. I'm still waiting for these levels, by the way. If you look in my channel and search Vanry, you'll see it. Oops. Alright. So low time frame doesn't look great for Vanry. Okay. You have this trend line that's failing to hold. So honestly, I would love if we can get, these wicks are disgusting. Why does KuCoin look like shit? I'm just going to share this chart. These are my buy levels, right? I originally gave the call here at 18. So basically, got a little bear flag pattern here. If we were to draw this bear flag here, I don't want to completely mess up this chart. Depends on which impulse you want to take it from. You could take it from here. Right. So honestly, anywhere 18 cents down to 14 cents as a buy. If you get these gifts here, definitely buy. I think this will eventually be $1 and $2 coin. So if you think it's going to $1 and $2, it's a 5 to 10x from here. From down here, even better. I'll be looking to buy at that area. So I'm going to post this chart. I'm not going to do big time because I think it's a garbage coin, but here's Injective. Wait a second. Okay. So Injective had this huge rising wedge, right? We broke down, we retested it, we died, right? I'm still in this from $40.20, and these are my buy levels. So 20%, 20%, 30%, and the last 30% down here at $19. Still making higher lows, or sorry, lower lows and lower highs. So I have percentages here on the chart as well for you guys. So I mean, I'm not going to go over in too deep with technical analysis here. Rising wedge, technical targets. Right. Injective BTC also looks like dog water. Yeah. So these are the buy levels. Your other 30% comes somewhere in here, and your final 30% comes somewhere in here. Not doing cake. I don't do stuff that Barbie would have in her house. FTM. Yeah, FTM is showing strength. I don't get it. Market down, FTM up. Now, you bring up a good point, VM. When the market is down, right, and these coins are holding strong, always look at the Bitcoin pairing. Notice how, I mean, you saw this. You saw the dog water that Injective BTC had, right? This going down, Injective going down, Bitcoin going down. No bueno, right? Bitcoin going down, FTM up. The reason why this is up is because the Bitcoin pairing is up. So if you are ever in a downtrend, or if the market's in a downtrend and you see a coin is holding very strong, first take a look at its Bitcoin pairing. If that is holding well, if we get a move up in the market, these coins are going to bounce the hardest. So yes, FTM is very strong. We are at resistance here. Flip this. It looks good for continuation. Otherwise, we have a demand zone down here. Now, if we reject here, this one can be a very, very tricky long. The only reason is because, one sec, let me plot out these. The only reason is because we make another lower high here, right? We come back down. If I were to draw fibs from there to current, right? We bounce from that point, but if we put in a lower high here, we could go down and make a lower low, which would coincide with this area here. Let me see. But also, again, right? Is this going to be inverted chart, right? Is this going to be another higher low here with a double bottom formation with a possible double top? Supply zone as well. So this is your range in my opinion. We'll buy range lows to the highs again. Otherwise, you wait until this is flipped to support, and then you can long or buy up until here. So that should be like a 10% move. Yep. Otherwise, you could take a scalp play, enter in light at the deviation point. Stops below the 786. Back to highs. And by scalp, I know this is a very, very wide range, but you enter in with 1 to 1.5% of your portfolio. If you were to get stopped, Sorry, you're risking 1 to 1.5% of your portfolio. If you were to get stopped, you only lose that much. Stop loss placement if this flips is hard to say right now, but very, very bullish. Range lows you along as well. Ape. Hmm. Yikes. Wait 1 second. Fucking A. Honestly, if Ape were to bounce, it'd be right over here. Otherwise, there's no other lows for the Bitcoin pairing. If it dies, then you expect this to make like a retest maybe of here. Jesus fuck. You could see this possibly bounce only because it's at the Bitcoin pairing lows. You also have a little falling wedge. So either this comes back down once more, bounces from the trend line along with this area here. It's an SR point, hasn't been retested. And you have easy invalidation, stops below the low, for technical targets of you also have resistance here. So that would be your setup. Otherwise, you wait for this to break out, retest, and you will long on the retest with your stops below there. But you better hope this holds. Otherwise, this coin's like dead. Yeah. Dogecoin. So I'm still in this. I gave these buy levels. If you got in with me, we're nicely in profit. At least 10%. These levels are still applicable. So if we go back down there, these are the buy levels. But let me show you a different chart. This isn't my channel, but I'll show a different chart here as well really quickly. You got a little rising wedge here. Okay, breakdown, retest. Technical targets for a rising wedge. Back down to this order block. Um, another lower or a lower high has been made here. You know, if we take a look at Sol, right? Like lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Ideally, we go to the lower low. So Dogecoin, A, B. Again, B isn't high enough. I was hoping for a move there. So A, I was hoping for, I mean, sure. B, C. Possible bounce here. And then it's going to be anticipating the move. Trendline touch. DCA in this area. And then if this holds, right, we go much higher. Now, I don't want to see a megaphone pattern. By that I mean I don't want to see this forming, because that's going to be a longer now a megaform pattern is bullish, right? But if this happens, it's going to take a while to play out, and at that point, you know, Sol will go to 0 and 250 and back down to 0 before this actually moves. So I want this to go steep into this area and then continue to go higher. But those are the potentials. Now, if this holds, then your short will come move up and then back down, short there, back down. Maybe if this continues to grind higher, if this holds here, right? Let's make this a little, one sec, I'll change the color, but like let's go up, right? And then continues to go higher from there. Then you have an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Goes to complete, if we break above this point here, it invalidates the corrective wave and then continues to go higher. So your short trigger is if it takes out the highs, comes back down, and then you short with, you know, entry stops above the wick. Otherwise, if this continues to go higher, puts in an inverse head and shoulders, then you could see 35 to 40 cents on Sol, or on Dogecoin. Okay, I got 3 more coins in me. I'm not doing big time. Big time is a shit coin. ICP. Why is ICP being traded? Hmm. Okay, we had a breakout. A retest of this weekly breakout point is what I like. So yeah, probably there. This is a weekly demand zone. So if you're looking to enter this coin, the daily looks disgusting. We're most likely headed there. Now a weekly chart, you see these wicks? It can wick down into here and still close above this. So spot, if you're entering, you enter in there, and DCA at this order block. Yeah. Such an utter shitcoin. Yep. So entry, DCA zone. And if you want a hard stop loss, you'll cut it if this level is turned to resistance. Then you cut. Is it true that MEXC trades against its users? I have no idea. Peppy. Bounce from the order block. I think if you can long the trend line with stops below, now it's going to be risky, right? Especially like the daily looks disgusting. So you could wait, you could long here with stops below. You could wait until this low is taken, right? Because if you stop below, everyone's looking at having their stops there. So you can wait until this is taken, right? And then puts in a swing failure. You mark it long. Your first TP is going to be at the trend line. And then if it reclaims it, you can add more to your position. At that point, it should have broken out of this downtrend, and you go from there. No worries. So long trend line stops below the wick. That's riskier. Or you could wait until these lows are swept, puts in a swing failure, reclaim the swing lows, market long, TP first at the trend line, and then you can add more to your position if the trend line is flipped back to support, and then you target up here. But this will run only if ETH does, right? Like ETH had a monster 3-day. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. If ETH looks like dog shit, so will this coin. But the daily looks disgusting. So two separate plays here. I know I have a chart here. These are my buy levels. It's Naders. It's in my server. I'm still waiting for these levels to hit. Nope, nothing's changed. Still waiting. Now if this breaks out, then you can buy. Otherwise, break down. There are your buy levels. Okay, last coin. Whatever the fuck this is. Alright. If you guys are trading coins like this, you better have a girlfriend. Or a boyfriend. Whatever you prefer. Rejected from resistance. These wicks are nasty. Okay. It already flipped that to support. This will most likely put in a third daily red candle. This is going to be your play if you decide to take it, and it's going to be another range play. If it goes to retest here, Jesus Christ, this chart looks disgusting. This would be your setup. Lower high, back down to a lower low. Now, this would be a scalp play. I honestly don't know what the fuck this coin does, but lower high, something like that. I mean, I can add another confluence there for you. The only reason I'm doing an XRA is because I already have a chart for it with the levels. So here are your buy levels for an XRA. Cool. So I'm going to stop recording here.